Well, guys, the question must be asked, how can you actually work for the Department of Justice if you don't believe in law and order? Now, President Trump has cracked down on the crime in Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is a federal jurisdiction. It's not even really a city. It's not a state. Now, we know that Democrats, man, they definitely want to make D.C. a state, really because there's a whole bunch of Democrat voters in the district. However, it's still on federal land. And the president actually invoked a rule in the Home Rule Act. He's taking charge, man. The crime is out of control. The police are out there on the streets in Washington, D.C. And leftists don't like it, man. How is it, man, that you actually don't like the police from stopping crime? Is it just because Trump is doing it? I mean, guys, I would take anyone that's going to make my community safer. I really would. But these people, they don't want it, man. They seem to be perfectly okay with criminals carjacking people, attacking people, and killing people. It makes absolutely no sense. I would never want to actually live in Washington, D.C. I really wouldn't. But if you are an employee of the DOJ, how in the world can you actually attack law enforcement? Well, guys, that's what this one employee, should I actually say former employee, he found out. He thought it was a good idea to actually assault a federal agent, but get this, with a Subway sandwich. Yes, he assaulted the federal agent with a Subway sandwich. Now, guys, I don't know about you guys, but when I was growing up, my mother and grandmother told me, don't waste my food. This guy, he wasted his food. He actually took his sandwich and threw it on a federal agent. But guess what, guys? He found out. He got fired. Yeah, let's get into it, guys. Right over here. DOJ employee fired, charged with assaulting federal agent with sandwich. Now, I don't know, does Subway still have the $5 footlong? But let's just assume they do. You just got fired and you just got charged with assault over a $5 sandwich. Yeah. You guys see the picture right here. He's holding the Subway sandwich right there in his hand. And then you actually see the sandwich hit the federal officer. And it looks to be the black officer that actually got the sandwich thrown at him. Let's read this, guys. A man has been charged with felony assault on law enforcement. His alleged weapon of choice, a Subway sandwich. And he has been fired from his job at the Department of Justice, according to Attorney General Pam Bondi. Folks, I don't believe any leftists should be working at the Department of Justice. I really don't. Because the leftists don't believe in law and order. They don't. Look here, it says Sean Charles Dunn, 37, has been charged with felony assault in connection with the incident, where he was reportedly captured on video using a Subway sandwich after shouting at a group of federal officers, calling them fascists, before throwing the sandwich at the group, striking a U.S. Customs and Border Patrol agent. Oh, wow. So he did that. Yeah. And he found out. Pam Bondi posted this right here. If you touch any law enforcement officer, we will come after you. I just learned that this defendant worked at the Department of Justice. No longer, not only is he fired, he has been charged with a felony. This is an example of the deep state we have been up against for 7 months as we work to refocus DOJ. You will not work in this administration while disrespecting our government and law enforcement. Yeah, so he found out. And this is actually really outside of a Subway. You guys see the picture right there? He's in handcuffs, and he does have a Subway sandwich in the other picture right here, holding it in his left hand. And he decided to attack Border Patrol agents. Yeah. I'm assuming, I'm not exactly sure this is Washington, D.C., now that I think about it. Where is this actually at? I'm curious about that. Maybe it could be D.C., but I'm not really sure. Judge Janine also weighed in. Now, Judge Janine is actually the U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C., so this may have actually happened in Washington, D.C. She put out this video right here. Let's play this.
So President Trump has vowed to make D.C. safe and beautiful again. And as part of his effort to fight crime, he's bringing in our federal law enforcement partners like FBI, ATF, DEA, or Park Police, everybody to help the Metropolitan PD fight crime. And the president's message to the criminals was, if you spit, we hit. Well, we didn't quite do that the other night when an individual went up to one of the federal law enforcement officers and started jumping up and down, screaming at him, berating him, yelling at him. And then he took a Subway sandwich about this big and took it and threw it at the officer. He thought it was funny. Well, he doesn't think it's funny today because we charged him with a felony, assault on a police officer. And we're going to back the police to the hilt. So there. Stick your Subway sandwich somewhere else.
Yeah, not smart. Not a smart move by this guy. Definitely not, man. Yeah, this is in Washington, D.C. And we know, man, that on the left is saying, oh, crime is down in Washington, D.C. Even though crime is still out of control. Way out of control, man. See, these leftists, man, they really want these cities to remain dangerous. How is it, guys, that our nation's capital is just so dangerous? We should actually make our nation's capital extremely safe. Really, guys, this should be the safest city in the U.S. But in reality, it's one of the most dangerous cities in the world. The murder rate is outrageous in Washington, D.C. But this is what happens, man, when you actually let leftists take charge. I believe that DC Home Rule Act needs to be revoked. DC is not a state. DC is not a city. They shouldn't have any electoral votes. There really shouldn't be anybody living in DC at all. The people that live there should actually be voting with Maryland and Virginia. Actually, they should be living there. No one should actually be living in a federal district. They really shouldn't. But for some reason, man, Congress in the 1970s didn't want to do that job anymore. And they said, let's just give it away to Democrats, pretty much. Just give it away. Let crime run amok. Because Congress is lazy. Lazy. And when you have a lazy Congress, folks, this is why you have out of control crime. And President Trump said enough. Enough. I'm going out there and I'm going to bring the gauntlet to make DC safe again. Yeah, I'm glad that this guy, he found out he's unemployed now. Now he's actually charged with a felony all over a $5 Subway sandwich. Yeah. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.